Welcome back to the Cat Knit Podcast. My name is Grace and today is Monday, March 25th. March is almost over. I feel like I'm always saying that because time has been going so quickly. I don't know about you guys, but I feel that way. This is a podcast about knitting and books and baking and cats, but most importantly knitting because that is what I love to do most. That being said, we haven't had books or baking in a very long time, but today I have both! What? How awesome is that? So that's exciting. Also drinking tea because that is what I do best. Yay tea. If you'd like to follow me on any of my social medias, I have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Ravelry. I'm most active on Instagram. If you'd like to go follow me over on there, or all of the above, whatever you would like to do, that is awesome. Subscribe to this YouTube channel, that would also be awesome. Then that way you can get notified when there's a new episode, which is always good. If you are interested in any of the things that I will be talking about in this episode, you can find them in the show notes, which will be on my blog. So if you are on YouTube, the link to my blog will be down below, or if you're on my blog already, everything will already be there. In addition to that, I work at a yarn store. Fun fact, if you're new to this podcast, I do work at a yarn store. It is called the Modern Skein. It's in Montgomery, Texas, and I will leave all of the stuff, social media, website, all that jazz, online store. You should go check it out in the show notes as well, so you can get all the information. Or if you are local, you can come and hang out with us, sit and knit, chat, all that jazz. We would love to see you. We have such a wonderful group of ladies. They are truly wonderful and I love all of them. So please come and join if you are able. We would love to see you. So currently I have been working literally on one thing and one thing only since recording. And you guys can probably guess what that is. I'll show you in just a moment, but we're going to go over sweaters in general. This is going to be a very sweater heavy episode. And I say that as we are getting to go into the hotter months of the year in Houston. So great timing on my part, don't you think? But my thought process is that I'm planning ahead and I'm just wanting to get things done so I can wear them for the fall. Or maybe the sweaters that I'm going to be talking about are lighter weight and can be worn now, but not probably verging on not next month. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, I've got lots of knitting sweaters to talk about, but very just one item that I've worked on. In addition to that, I also have banana bread in the oven, and the timer will be going off shortly, so I will go and fix that, and so yes. But since that's just a rundown of what the episode is going to be kind of like, because who knows with me, I ramble quite a lot. But I think rambling can be healthy and important, so I'm not ashamed of my rambling. Especially when we're talking about knitting, because knitting is always fun to talk about. See, I'm doing it again. Anyway, if you would like to go grab something tasty to drink, or I have my tea, or you can grab something to snack upon, an animal to snuggle. My cat is asleep on our couch, so he's not here, but he's currently sleeping. Or something to craft upon, or all of the above, which would be the ultimate dream situation in my mind. And you can come back and join me for some crafty chat. So. Where to begin? I don't know. Should we go with, let's do the work in progress, because that's just mainly the big thing, everyone. This is like a really big item. I'm very proud of myself. Yes. If you are, if you haven't seen last week's episode, and you are also not, if you don't come to the Modern Skein on a regular basis or just in general, or if you weren't there last week at all, you might not be aware that I am working on a test knit for, her name is Melody, and her Instagram username I do not know how to pronounce, but it's B Mandarins. She's wonderful. The Instagram feed is so inspirational, and I like want to be wherever she is because it looks so cozy and like the perfect knitting scenario, whatever. So I'm testing this sweater for her, which is quite a wonderful experience for me. This is my first test knit for her, and I have a Snapchat. So let's turn off the ringer on my phone. I do apologize. This is my first test knit for her, and I am super excited about this. I saw this sweater in one of her vlogs long time ago, and was like, oh man, that would be amazing to test knit it. Didn't think I'd be able to, but I did. I am, everyone, and I'm loving it. It's living in my happy bag, which is, as you can see, is covered in pins. It makes me very happy. Like, I look at it, the yellow makes me happy, and the fact that it's a La Bien-Aimée bag, and the fact that my mom got it for me, and then also all these pins, just makes me happy. It is like totally my happy bag. My happy bag. And so because this is my happy bag, it's very much a putting the top priority project in, or whatever my most loved project in, and currently this is the top priority and also the project I'm loving the most, which is awesome when those two things coincide. It doesn't always, but this time it does, and I love it. Actually, it does coincide quite a lot, but not always. But a lot of the time it does. Anyway, it's details. So, dear viewers, last week I showed you I had barely gotten any progress done, and I'm about to show you. Let's get this lined up correctly, because there's yarn everywhere. Goodness gracious, there are so many ends. I will warn you, if you knit the sweater, there are so many ends. So last week I showed you I had hardly any progress, but ladies and gentlemen who are watching, dear viewers, here is my sweater. What up? This is a fingering weight sweater, people. I did this in a week. I literally cast this part off around the time I had been casting it on a week before. And I worked on the sleeve this morning while I was waiting for my class at the Y, because why not? You bring your knitting everywhere, because that's just what we do. That's what knitters do. I got to try it on last night, and oh my goodness, everyone, it's the cutest thing ever. Like, I knew this was cute. I knew this was super cute. Obviously, it's just, Melody is a genius. She came up with this pattern and design with the bobbles, and like, how can we even, but then I got to try it on last night, and I was like, oh wow, this is going to be my new favorite sweater. I'm glad that it's lightweight, so there's going to be more opportunities for me to be able to wear it, because yay, Houston. Yeah. I'm also like very, very happy with how the length turned out. I actually lengthened it ever so slightly, and I believe it is the perfect length for me, and I'm very proud of myself for figuring that out correctly. It's also covered in cat hair. I'm just now noticing that. I'm sorry. Side note, why is this covered in cat hair? Granted, we do have a cat, and so everything automatically gets covered in cat hair anyway. You wash something and it's still covered in cat hair, which is totally fine. Hazards of having a cat. So in our living room, TV room area, we have like just a regular couch and a love seat that we got from my parents, because they were getting new furniture and they didn't want it anymore. So I have now taken over the love seat as like my chair knitting area, and Birdie will come and hop and sit on my lap while I'm knitting, like literally while I'm knitting. He has no respect for me and my craft. He does not understand. But I usually have like some kind of fuzzy blanket on top of me. We have all of his favorite blankets out in the living room. He's a very spoiled cat. if you couldn't tell already. So usually I'm underneath one of those just because, like, yay blankets and yay knitting and yay watching TV, Netflix, oh joy. And so Birdie will come and hop on my lap and, of course, on top of whatever I'm knitting. Hence all the cat hair. That's more than normal, but that's okay. We just pick it off and we keep on with our lives, because life is too short to get bothered about cat hair. That was not the planned title of this episode, but that was a pretty good title, so we'll have to keep that in mind. So, you may be asking, what yarn am I using? I am using Knit Picks palette in 3 different colorways. Excuse me. The corally color is called My Tai Heather. The light gray is called Finley Heather, and then the main color, which I know it's very hard to see, and in fact in person, like, you really have to, like, you have to have good lighting, I should say that. It is not navy, it is not black, it is neither of those. It's a very, very dark teal, and you can kind of see it there. It's just like it's like a navy with like foresty green, teal, heatheries. Does that make sense? That was a very technical description. It's not black or navy, though it looks good, and those two would be really great options. It is in fact not that. So, fun fact, it doesn't matter either way. I really like how it's turning out. Yes, I like the length. I like the neckline. The neckline's not too wide, which I like a wide neckline for sure, but this is not too wide. I know it looks kind of wide, but when I tried it on last night, it was like, this is the perfect neckline. Everyone, could it be more perfect? So yes, the deadline is April 15th. I am starting the first sleeve, having the second sleeve, and then I will be done. So I am planning on finishing these sleeves pretty quickly, just because it's plain knitting. Lots of decreasing. It's awesome. I am so excited. There is something that I would like to talk about. That sounds very serious. Nobody's in trouble. We're not going to have any deep discussions or whatever, though those aren't bad. So I have literally not worked on anything else since last Sunday evening when I cast this on. And clearly I got so much done, which makes me wonder, should I try and be a monogamous knitter? And I'm glad I said that right on the first try, because I normally don't. Monogamous. There we go. I did it again. Look at me go. It's the tea, and I think in looking forward to having banana bread, because that makes sense. I have never, ever been a monogamous knitter. I'm gonna mess it up sometime, so let's just get it out of our systems now. And whatever, it'll be funny when it happens. I'm gonna set that down so I can get comfortable, because we're just chatting as we do. We're just having a good conversation. So yeah, I have never, ever knit just on one thing, except for, like, so this current one that I'm working on, and then the one that I did last month for Isabel Kramer, the Mycroft. And even then, I still kind of worked on other things, but I worked mainly on that. I have not touched any other knitting that was not my own. I touched, like, customers' knitting, and I worked on their knitting for if they needed help, but I haven't touched any of my projects since last Sunday evening. And I have been able to finish almost an entire sweater. A fingering weight sweater! Everyone! What? Do I need to do this more often? Like, I think this is what I need to do. Ooh! Oh, I know. Here's an idea. Let's have a discussion. You can bounce ideas off of me in the comment section if you like. What 1 week a month, or 1 week like every other month. I took that week and just worked on one thing and see where I get. And just like something that I am having trouble making progress on just because I've gotten distracted. Because there are a lot of the things I've already changed my needles, so I know it's not a needle issue. Just that there's other things that I'm really excited about knitting on. But what if I take a week and just work on that one thing and see where I get? I think that is quite a good idea. That will require a little bit more planning. It seems like a very good idea. I like that idea. I'm glad that we have these discussions. Thank you very much for your input and letting me just talk to you. Which you're just, currently I'm just talking to a camera, but thank you, dear viewer, for letting me discuss these things with you. It's very, so I'm having a little brain dump right now. But for real though, I think I like, granted having a deadline is also a factor, but knowing that I was going to be working on and making myself work on just one thing, not anything else, though I could have, and though I wanted to. I could have, but I didn't, and now I'm almost done, and it's amazing. Granted, the amazingness doesn't have to do with the fact that I knit on one thing. That has to do with the pattern and Melody designing it. So yeah, I might give that a try. I think that's very interesting. I wonder if that would be as successful for things that don't have a deadline for myself. That is very interesting. What do you guys think about that? Are you a 1 project person? Are you a 3 project person? Or are you like a 10 project person? Because I'm like a 10 to 15 project person. But that's okay. No shame. I ramble and I have 10 to 15 projects on the needles. It's okay. Granted, I've been doing such a good job. Let's have a little transition, tangent. Actually, not a tangent because I was going to talk about this. We'll set our tea down. Oh! My banana spread ready. I'll be right back. I'm back. I have adjusted the recipe that I'm using, so it's 3 little bread tins opposed to 1 big one, and so I have adjusted the time, and I was needing to check on it, obviously, because that's what the timer was. Anyway, so going back to my hashtag Languishing Whips 2019, I feel like that should be like a segment that I do now. So the end of March is very close. I am wearing one of my Languishing Whips for this month. And no, this was another month. What month was this? I don't remember. It was recently. When was this? I don't actually know. I know it was recently. I know, oh, I have documentation of it on the channel. It'll be fine. I'll look it up. So possibly this, and my branches and buds, which is completely done, and the ends are still not woven in, and I still haven't taken pictures of it, but it's still done. All the knitting is done. So I'm counting it as done. I hope to take pictures soon. We'll see how that goes. I don't know. We'll see. The weaving in the weaving in of the ends might happen soon. Again, I don't know. No promises. But it is done. All the knitting is done. There are 2 sleeves. There's a body. The yoke. It's great. So that is my 2. I finished 2 Languishing Whips. This was like high school era. A long time ago, and then Branches and Buds was about a year, like literally a year, because I think I cast it on, according to my Ravelry page, on March 17th, 2018, so that was cool to get that finished up very shortly around that time. Ta-da! I didn't plan it that way, but I'm glad that it worked out that way because that's pretty cool. Anyway, so that's really great. I could reward myself by casting something new on, but I'm currently feeling a little overwhelmed by the projects that I've casted on recently, just because there are a lot of them, and the things that I really want to knit right now are, they're not, what am I trying to say? The things that I want to knit, I do have yarn for a lot of the things that I want to knit, like I could just print the pattern and go. But there are some things that I really want to knit that would require putting together yarn, and yarn ideas, colors, picking up the size and all that jazz, and I need to get the pattern. So that's just me being like, I don't want to put in the work right now, so I'm not going to. In other words, it's just me being lazy. But I have a lot of other things to work on right now. And who knows, maybe if I do another just 1 week of something, I'll get it done, and then it'll be great. And then I'll feel even better about it. Oh, I wonder if I could like pick a month. I could do this 1 week a thing, 1 week a month thing, and then like 1 month I could do it like every single week, just work on one thing. Ooh, what month would that be? I don't know, we're gonna work on this. This sounds exciting. I am excited about this, everyone. I feel like this is a way to be very productive and get a lot of knitting done, which is very exciting. Anyway, side note. So yes, just a lot of sweaters in general. There are so many shawls that I want to do, everyone. There's just so many shawls, and I don't have the time right now. Oh well. The time will come, the walrus said, to talk of many things. And he also said to finish all the Languishing Whips because he knows I'll feel better about myself and my knitting. And I'll be more inspired. So we must thank the walrus and his talking of many things. I don't know where that came from. I do apologize. Again, it must be the tea. Let's blame the tea and the fact that I know that there's banana bread coming. Haha. Anyway. So, yes. I currently have shawls on. Keep trying to drink and then I start talking again, so we're just gonna, let's have a little tea break. Tea break! 1 moment. So good. I have Lady Grey today. And I made it perfectly. It is so good. Something so magical about like a deliciously strong cup of tea that's still sweet and creamy. Because I like my tea with sugar and cream. No shame. It's just so good. Anyway, what was I talking about? I don't remember. I think something about shawls on my needles, which is not what I was going to talk about in this episode. But anyway, just so you know, I have shawls on my needles. And other items, like sweaters. Obviously, I have a lot of sweaters. I'm about to show you the sweaters that I plan on working on after this test knit is over, which hopefully should be soon. So, nice transition. Let's go into that, shall we? First off, this is a recent thing. You guys would have remembered this, or would have seen this from last week's episode. This is Lady Mademoiselle Dandelion. Haven't worked on this at all, but that's okay. I'm literally like 1.5 inches away from getting the length that I want, so I know I'm really close. So I feel good about that. And I know that my sleeve situation is also really great on this. So this is going to be very worked upon for sure, because I want to get this done, because this is going to be such a wonderful, like, springy, summery sweater. I should probably work on these according to when I want to wear them, because I do have some very lightweight ones and I do have some heavyweight ones that need to get done. And I want to wear these lightweight ones in the spring/summer when it is appropriate and not intensely hot and humid, which it is all the time. Yes, if you live in Houston, you understand what I'm talking about. Anyway, or any tropical, humid, hot place. So this will probably become my top priority after the test knit, I think. I'm not positive, but who knows. This is really awesome. I really do want to get that finished. In addition to that, I don't actually have the sweater in there, but I do have the yarn. Which has reminded me, and I hear my banana bread needs to be checked again, so we're going to go check my banana. The banana bread has been rotated, and now it's going to be browning nicely on the other side, so it's all okay. So the yarn that I had in the Lady Dandelion sweater bag, was also my toady sweater yarn, which is the sweater that I taught for the sweater class at the Modern Skein. We did Hohi Locatelli's Basic Raglan Pullover. I will be steeking this. Probably steeking this will be the next top priority. It will probably be a non-knitting priority. So, yes. Not sure when the steeking is actually going to happen, but it will be discussed and shared and happen at the store. So if you want to come watch me cut my sweater open, watch me be terrified, experience the joy of steeking without actually have to cut your knitting, I will cut my knitting for your entertainment. Or just so you can experience steeking. And that will be wonderful. So I'm gonna share when that happens on the social medias and all that jazz. If you want to come look, watch, all that jazz. So that's another sweater that needs to be finished. It's very close to being done. Again, it's blocked and, no, it's not blocked. Yeah, it's definitely not blocked, but none of the ends have been woven in, but that's okay because it hasn't been blocked yet. It's fine. Okay, next up, we have living in my other fringe field bag, which has a couple pins that do in fact make me very happy, but it's not nearly as many, is my Zweig by Caitlin Hunter. And this is, I really do want to get this done because again, because I am doing all things cropped at the moment. I'm going to do this cropped. I'm going to make it, I have no idea where the back and the front is. I see where my short rows are, but it's, I feel like it's, yay! My Zweig. This is what I have so far. I do in fact have markers every repeat or whatever, and I do have my little pizza progress keeper right there from Sucre Miniatures. My yarn, this main color is Madeline Tosh Sock in the Cordovan, not Cordovan, Cordovan, or however you say it, because I have no idea at this point, in that colorway. And then down here is Madeline Tosh Sock, I believe, in the Marfa colorway. I am so excited about it, everyone! And I believe I'm around maybe like halfway through the lace repeat. I could be wrong. No, not even close. I was wrong. But I'm getting close to being halfway. That's good. That's exciting. Progress. Being happy about progress. I was about to say something else about this, but I don't remember what it was. I will not be doing the little cable X's on the body. It's just going to be plain stockinette. Just because I've seen the ones, obviously people have done the cabled X's, and I think it's super cute, but for me, I would prefer it to not have that, and I think I would enjoy the knitting process more if it did not have that. So, and also make it a quicker knit, but I'm not trying to get out of doing things that the pattern says. I'm just wanting to make things the way that I would want to make them. And that's okay. I don't have to put the cabled X's on the body or the sleeves if I don't want to. It's fine. It's my sweater, not your sweater. I'll make it how I want. And you can make your sweaters how you want. And that's awesome. So that's super exciting. There's something else I was going to say, and I forget what it was, so we're going to take a tea break. When in doubt, take a tea break. That's another really good title. Man, they're just coming up with so many good titles. Also, I do not have the yarn for this. Banana bread is now out of the oven and it looks beautiful, and I'm very excited to try some later while I'm editing this podcast. Yay. So I was about to say that I don't have the yarn for this right now, but I'm very, very wanting to make this because that's grammatically correct. And I know that this is pronounced multiple ways. I don't know how it's actually pronounced. I personally pronounce it Tegna, but I know it's also pronounced Tana. I don't know which one. It's by Caitlin Hunter, if you are unaware. It can be cropped, it can be longer, it's got the lace on the bottom, and then it's just like a plain, simple tee thing. And we have several of our regular ladies who are knitting them currently out of very wonderful yarn, and I know that Knit Picks has a cotton linen blend, or a linen cotton blend because there's more linen, and I think that would be so awesome, but I don't have the yarn yet, so we'll see where that goes. I don't know if that I'll actually act upon that. I did see that Knit Picks was having a sale until the end of March. So, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe it'll be like a reward for finishing this test knit. I don't know, but I mean, Knit Picks and a sale, like you really can't go wrong. And the colors are really awesome. So yeah. I don't know. We're gonna think about that one. Anyway, I really want to make one. I really want to make one cropped. I think it'd be super cute with so many things. I just can't get over the cropped trend and the high-waisted things, and now knowing like I can make cropped just for me and my waist, and it's just so awesome. It's opened so many doors. I'm very excited. Anyway, moving on. Speaking of cropped, nice transition here, living in my massive Quince & Company bag because there's a lot of yarn in here, everyone. Also because it's heavyweight yarn. This is my nurtured sweater. I know there's a sleeve in here somewhere. I finished sleeve 1. Oops. Sleeve 1. Ta-da! Here we have sleeve 2. Ta-da! And then all that's left is the body and joining everything together. So this is in theory very close to being done just because it's knit on a very big needle compared to knitting on size 3s for my Lady Dandelion cardigan. These are size 8s. This is Drops Nepal, if I remember correctly. I have a big bag of this in here. Yes, I was right, Nepal. There we go. So this is not a top priority, but I really want to get this done because I want to get these needles back into commission, and this cord, and the stitch markers back into commission, and also this bag. So I know I won't be able to wear this for a while, but I'd like to get it done so I can... Birdie! He's about to tip over his water. That's okay, the cat has his water now. We can go back to regularly scheduled podcasting stuff. What was I saying? I don't remember. Something about my nurtured sweater. I know that I can't wear it now, but I want to get it done. What is this piece of paper? Oh, it's from the front. Okay, I'm sorry. Yes. So again, this one is not a top priority, but I do want to get it done, and I know it'll go quickly. So it is a very big and bulky project, so it's kind of hard. It's not hard to bring it around with me, but it does take up more space. So this might be a stay-at-home project just because I have to be choosy when I bring my projects to work because I need space for other things, and I also want to use my time well when it comes to knitting what I want. That sounded really weird. I don't know. I don't think that made sense. Did that make sense? I don't know. I might just leave my work on my nurtured at home. Let's just leave it at that. I don't know. So that's very exciting. Moving on, this is a lightweight sweater, but this one is knit entirely out of mohair. So, we'll see, everyone. This is my sorbet cardigan. Doo-doo. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Which is not necessarily, the mohair is not necessarily the greatest for the summer, but it's still very lightweight. And when you hold the strands double, it's still very fuzzy, but I feel like it doesn't shed quite as much. Or it doesn't seem that way anyway. It probably actually does, and I'm just fooling myself. Anyway, I've started on the first sleeve. And so I have a sleeve, and then the 2 button bands in the front. So I'm so close to being done. I don't think this is a languishing whip, but it's not a year old, so that's good. But it's definitely over 6 months, I think. So that's exciting. That's the last sweater that I brought in to show you guys. I'm using various forms of mohair in here that are all jumbled up and tangled in my bag. So, yay, fun times. So yes, I am just really on an intense sweater kick right now, and I am loving it. Also, this bag is over here. There is a yarn that I got recently, and I did show this to you guys, but the pattern is now out, and it is by Andrea Mowry. It's called the LYS, or Little Yellow Sweater. And I have 3 skeins of Suburban Stitcher in her Happy Accident colorway. For this sweater specifically, this was a very, like a treat yourself project for sure. And I am so excited. So I think I want to save this until I have a reason to celebrate or something like that. I don't know, but when I cast more things off and get things done, I will cast this on because I'm going to love this sweater. I will love this sweater so much. So yeah, I have the yarn, don't have the pattern yet, but that's just a matter of going onto Ravelry and buying it. Very excited about knitting that. Not sure when that's going to happen, but it'll happen soon, I'm sure. Knowing me, just too excited. And there's also things like my Tecumseh that I have the yarn for, and my Winterfell or something like that I have yarn for somewhere. No idea where that yarn is. I have my No Frills that also needs to be finished. And I actually need to wind up yarn for that. So I might bring that to work with me this week to wind that up and continue to work on it because it's just plain knitting. And again, I want to free up these needles and these tips and these cords and stuff so I can knit on other items, everyone, because people just keep releasing patterns and I just keep getting super excited about all these things and I don't have the needles and I just need to stay focused. It's very much a first world problem. But it is what it is. So, very quickly, I'm not sure how long this episode is going to be because I keep stopping this and starting this to go deal with the banana bread and the cat, and this current clip is at 5 minutes, and I know I've been recording for much longer than that. So, very quickly, I have a book, and I have some baking, and I've gone through some of the baking process with you in this episode. I'm making banana bread. It's not particularly any special banana bread. It's a new recipe that I haven't used before. For some reason, my regular one, the website wasn't working. Don't know why. So I found a new one, and it's from a blog called The Sassy Spoon, which I thought was very cute. And it couldn't say no to that, so I made her banana bread, and it looks incredible. And of course I put more chocolate chips in, because why not? Why not? So that's my baking. I will put the recipe in the show notes if you are interested in that. In regards to books, I'm listening to a lot of things. I am trying to read a lot of things. My iPad died several weeks ago, and it was very sad. So I have been without a like an iPad tablet-y type thing, which is where I did almost all of my reading, except when I was on my computer. So now when I'm reading on my phone, which works. It works. It totally works. But I'm getting a Kindle soon, which I'm very excited about. I've never had a Kindle. The cat has decided to join us. Hello! Do you have opinions on the Kindle that you would like to share? You never go back there. You're only in here because I'm in here. Hi! Hello! I'm sorry, I get very distracted by him. He's just so cute. Oh, birdie. Anyway, so hopefully my reading should go back up, because I'm very excited about it. Also just audiobooks and podcasts and stuff like that. Yes. Anyway, so the book that I wanted to recommend. Granted, I haven't finished it, and I'm not really even halfway yet. So, yeah. Hi! Are you, what are you doing? He, like, crawled over the mountain of the knitting in front of me, and it's now under my chair. What in the world are you doing? You never come back here. Hi! He's like, pay attention to me. What are you doing? You're talking, but it's just to a camera. Or whatever that thing is on those tall legs. Anyway, I'm sorry. Very distracted. So the book, I've read one other books by this author, who is Kate Morton. I forget the name of the book that I read of hers before, but it was very good. I'm currently reading her most recent one, I think, which is called The Clockmaker's Daughter. I am about 11 chapters in out of maybe 37, and I have 2 days to finish it, so I don't think I'm gonna make that, but who knows. Yes. It's very good. One thing that I remember I really enjoyed about her, the other book of hers that I read, is that she does a really wonderful description of just really random things, but they're not random in that, like, why in the world would you describe this bush that has nothing to do with the story? I don't know. It's very hard to describe. Like, when I'm reading it, I'm like, yes, these are the questions that I would have wondered, and it's like, I don't know. I feel like, hi, okay, you're leaving now. Bye-bye. Thanks for disrupting all my stuff. That messed up my train of thought. What was I saying? Yes, I don't know, so let's start over, shall we? That was a very big distraction. So I'm reading her descriptions of things, or like of people, or of places, or situations, or whatever, and I'm really, like, the way that she describes them is the way that I would want to describe something, or the way that if I was writing something, I would describe it that way, or with that amount of detail. Or if I was learning about something and I would wonder, that's really interesting. I wonder what these little details would be, and those details were supplied in these books. And I feel really bad not having an actual, like, example of this, but you're just gonna have to take my word for it. Yeah, I don't know. Does that make sense? I just really like how she describes things. Yeah. If you, I don't know. I really just don't know. I feel like if you enjoy, like, people watching, or if you enjoy, like, history or just learning about random stuff like that, and you love hearing other people's stories, she does a really good job of describing the little details that make the characters like human and like very real, and gives you details that really immerses you in her stories. And I think that is an incredible quality for an author to have. That just really, like, I read the first chapter and was hooked immediately, no question. And it's because of her descriptions and because of her character development and the combination of the two. So if you're into that kind of stuff, I remember the first one that I read it had some like heavy themes in the end, and I'm assuming that this one will as well, but I have no idea, because I'm only on chapter 11. But it's very good. I would highly recommend her books. Again, the author is Kate Morton. The book is The Clockmaker's Daughter. It's also very mysterious, and it's very, very wonderful. I love it quite a lot. So I doubt that I'll finish it before it actually gets returned, and then I have to wait a long time for it to get brought back to me. So we'll see how that goes. Who knows? Maybe I'll just like read a ton and get it all finished, and it'll be great. But I doubt that's gonna happen. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is that it's a really great book. I would highly recommend her stuff, her books, this book, if you like the stuff that I have mentioned before, and now my eyes itchy. So that is my book. I have more interesting books lined up, so we'll see how those go. I am going to be restarting the series that I read not last year, but 2 years ago when we were still in Dallas. I read through the whole Princess Diaries series and really enjoyed it, and I just really love how fun and carefree and fluffy those books are, and I wanted some of that, so I'm gonna start that series over again, because why not? I loved it. It was so good. Anyway, books, that's what I'm going through right now. Yes, yay for books and reading and knitting, or audiobooking and knitting, or whatever you want to call it. Yay for books. So, we talked about the sweaters, the test knit, monogamous knitting, books and baking, and the cat. So we covered all of our bases today. I wasn't planning that, but somehow it worked out. I feel like Birdie knew that he was missing in the episode, so that's why he came in and was a distraction. That's totally what happened. Yes. I don't know what else to say. I feel like I've said everything that I wanted to say. So, with that, thank you for watching. If you'd like to follow me on any of my social medias, I have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Ravelry. I'm most active on Instagram, so please go follow me over on there. And I also post updates about when there's a new episode, or you could just subscribe to the YouTube channel where this podcast happens. That also works. If you would like to check out any of the things that I've discussed in this episode, I will do my best to include everything in the show notes. If anything is missing, please feel free to let me know. Or if you have any questions about anything, please send me a message or a comment or whatever, a tweet or whatever. I'm fine with anything. That is wonderful. If you'd like to come hang out with us at the Modern Skein, the information for that will be in the show notes. Also information about the yarn store that my friend is opening up in Waco. I will leave her website in the same little area for you to check out. She's not open yet, but hopefully this summer is the general where the timeline is going, which is very exciting. So please go check out her retailers and stuff, who she's gonna have. Get excited. Follow all of her social medias as well. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So I'm very excited about that, and I want you guys to know, and I also want you guys to get excited about it, because yay yarn stores! We need more yarn stores. And Waco doesn't currently have one, so it's going to be awesome. Awesome! So good. So all that stuff, social media, show notes, yarn stores. Yes. I hope you had a wonderful weekend, and I hope you continue to have a wonderful week. If you have crafty plans, I hope that they are successful. I hope to get my test knit done soon. Finish those sleeves, lickety split. Also finish my book, which I can do both at the same time, so it works out perfectly. And then just continue on making progress with the sweaters that I have on my needles, because there are sweaters everywhere to be finished, to be had, to be worn, to save until it gets colder again, and then you can wear them, because that's a thing. Yes, so I'm just very excited about my knitting progress. I feel like once I get this test knit done, I will just continue to knit, and this whole new thing of doing a week of just one item or a month of several items or whatever, and see how that goes and see what I can do, and then trying to make myself a monogamous knitter and how that goes. And if that does work, then wonderful. I might become a more quick knitter maybe. Not that I'm not quick, and not that it needs to be quick, but there would be, if I was a quicker knitter, there would be more time to knit more things, and that is such a wonderful idea. That's, yes, just got to think about that. So yes, that's very exciting. Hopefully I will come up with some kind of plan-ish to discuss for next week, maybe. I don't know. Who knows? We'll see next week. Tune in next week for the monogamous plan. The monogamous knitting plan. So yes, that is all that I have for you guys this week. I'm about to go and enjoy a piece of warm banana bread, and I am so excited. I might need to make myself another cup of tea because I'm almost done with mine. That would not be a bad thing. I would not say no to another cup of tea and banana bread and knitting. Ooh, oh, also laundry. That needs to be done. Dang it. Oh well, laundry's important. Clean clothes are always good. Anyway, we're just rambling at this point, and I do apologize. So, with that, I've said everything that I need to say, except for thank you for watching this episode. If you are a returning viewer, if you are a new viewer, who all is watching this, you are awesome, and I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for your comments and your likes and your just general support. It means so much to me. You guys making this podcast super awesome, and I enjoy it because I know that you guys enjoy it. So thank you so much for all your support, and I will see you guys next week with a brand new episode. Bye!